I have my friend Miss Megan from NAMI here. I'm not going to steal her thunder. I'm going to let her introduce herself to you. But let's give her a kind good morning to start our day. Say good morning, Miss Megan.
Good morning, Miss Megan.
Good morning. You're so savvy.
All right. Well, good morning. So my name is Megan, and I work for an organization called NAMI. I'm going to tell you what that stands for in just a little bit. We're going to be talking about mental health today for the next 40 minutes. So, here we are. So, NAMI is one of those words called an acronym where the letters stand for something. So I'm going to write on here what it stands for, and then we can all read it together. All right, what do we got?
National Alliance on Mental Illness.
Good. National Alliance on Mental Illness. So we help people that live with mental illness and their family members. Tell me, what comes to mind when you hear these two words? What do you think about when you hear the words mental illness? Yeah.
Somebody's very, very, very sick.
Okay, so someone who's very sick.
Somebody who maybe something like they have a really serious sickness.
Okay, yep. And that?
Maybe a condition.
Yep, I like that.
Their brain doesn't work properly.
Excellent.
Something like they think about stuff that like wrong stuff.
So they might have some bad thoughts going on. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Anything else? Good. Those are all really good answers. Let's see. Oh, and it even goes away when I switch the slides. This is much easier. So here are some things I want you to know. We can't see a mental illness because it happens where? Inside our brain. Yeah. And that means that it affects how we think, how we feel, how we act, how we make friends. It makes it hard to do things that we should be able to do no problem. Things like go to school and learn, or come home and hang out with our family and our friends. If we live with a mental illness, sometimes those things can be hard. We know that mental illness is common. You're going to find out how common it is later. And the good news is that we know most people who live with mental illness get better. And they get there by trying out different treatment options, which we'll also talk about a little bit later on. So these are two examples of mental illness. Do you know what those are? Yeah.
Anxiety and depression.
Anxiety and depression. How many of us have heard of those before? Most of us. Good. So I'm going to ask you lots of questions about those a little bit later. But first, I want to read you a story. Has anyone ever read this book before? One of us? A couple of us maybe? Good. So it'll be new for most of you. So this book is called My Many Colored Days. It is a Dr. Seuss book, but unlike a normal Dr. Seuss book, he didn't draw the pictures. He had someone else draw the pictures, so it looks just a little bit different. But it definitely sounds like a Dr. Seuss book. So I want you just to kind of sit back and let me read this to you, and I'll tell you what he's going to do in this book. He is going to compare a color with a feeling. So while you're listening, I want you to be thinking about what color day am I having, and what does that mean? Some days are yellow, some are blue. On different days, I'm different too. You'd be surprised how many ways I change on different colored days. On bright red days, how good it feels to be a horse and kick my heels. On other days, I'm other things. On bright blue days, I flap my wings. Some days, of course, feel sort of brown, and then I feel slow and low, low down. And then comes a yellow day, and whee, I am a busy fuzzy bee. Gray day, everything is gray. I watch, but nothing moves today. And then all of a sudden, I'm a circus seal. On my orange days, that's how I feel. Green days, deep, deep in the sea, cool and quiet fish, that's me. On purple days, I'm sad, I groan, I drag my tail, I walk alone. But when my days are happy pink, it's great to jump and just not think. And then come my black days, mad and loud. I howl, I growl at every cloud. And then comes a mixed up day, and wham! I don't know who or what I am. But it all turns out all right, you see, and I go back to being me. So, with the people sitting around you, I want you to tell them what color day you're having and what that means. Now, if it's different from the book, that's totally okay. You can make up your own color. But I just want you to put a color with how you're feeling. All right, I'll give you like 30 seconds to do that. Go.
What color
day are we having? Blue, like the book. So happy blue. Are you excited about Halloween? Don't know yet. It's tomorrow. What are some of the options? Cool. So it'll just depend on what mood you're in. All right. Let's get just a few people to share what they came up with. So I want to know what color day we're having and what it means. Yes. Yes.
Surprise blue.
Ooh, a surprise blue day. What does that mean? You don't know. It's a surprise.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
I feel like pink because I'm really excited about
For Halloween, what are you gonna be?
I'm an Egyptian.
Ooh, I love it. In the back.
I'm also pink because I'm excited for tomorrow too.
Halloween, and what are you gonna be?
Cat.
A cat. Nice. Yes.
Blue and green.
Blue and green. Okay, what does that mean?
So the green is because, well, you already know. Halloween. I
Oh,
love Halloween.
got it.
I'm being Ghostface.
Nice. And what about the blue?
Kind of threw up this morning because of all the food we had last night for my grandmother's birthday.
Oh, did you eat a lot of cake?
Nah. We went to a Mexican restaurant.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I got it. Yeah. Yep. You right here.
Today I'm yellow because I'm really busy.
Yeah, it's a busy day at school and after school. Yeah. All right, last one back. Green, like the book.
Sort of, yeah, like calm.
I like that. Calm and quiet, chill. Good. Excellent. So, it is okay to have different emotions, right? And throughout our day, we can have different emotions. Sometimes we might start off the day feeling a little tired, and then we get a burst of energy, and we're feeling really happy, and then something might happen, and maybe we're a little sad, and that's okay. However, if we are always feeling stuck in our sad days, in our mad days, maybe we're scared all the time, it's a really good idea to talk to someone about that. And I'm going to ask you who you talk to about that at the very end. So, I want you guys to help me with a little something. We're going to run through a little skit, if you will. So, has anyone ever broken a bone in here? You raise your hand right away. What did you break?
My arm.
Okay, perfect, because that's the example we use in here. So, how did you feel when that happened?
Scared. worried.
Yeah. Did you cry maybe?
Well, I was young, so probably.
Yeah, probably.
You are young.
We didn't feel good, and then, okay, so you broke your arm, you're not feeling good. I'm guessing someone took you somewhere. Where did they take you?
No, the hospital.
The hospital. Good. And what did they do at the hospital to make sure that your bone was broke?
They took an X-ray and then they would put a cast on it and the thing inside forgot what it's called.
A sling, maybe? To, like, hold it in place?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how to draw one of those, so I'm just going to draw it. And our friends sign our cast to show that they care. Good. Good. All right. Excellent. You were a great example. I'm sure most of us have had experience with this, because hopefully not a whole lot of us have broken our bones, but I know we've all had the cold or flu before. So what is going on in our bodies to let us know, like, yes, I have the cold or I am coming down with the flu? Yes.
If for the other one, you wouldn't just go to the hospital, you go straight to the emergency room.
Maybe.
And how do you know? Because you'd be yakking and coughing and you could move your arms.
For here. So we might be coughing or sneezing. We are spreading germs. Our nose is running. Hopefully not in our mouth.
It's away from your mouth.
Yeah, it is away from our mouth. Good. What else? Yeah.
If you have the flu, you're probably puking.
You might be puking. You bet.
Do you know how to draw fever? No.
What was that?
You might have a fever. I'm not going to survive.
How hot? Hot. Let's do like 102. That's pretty hot. In the last class, we even broke the thermometer because we were so hot. Good. Anything else? Yeah.
If you have the flu, you might get a body ache.
Good. We might be kind of achy.
Hallucinating.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, especially if our head is really, really hot.
I know what you mean.
I don't know, maybe a lot of cramps. Cause my brother, when he had the flu, he had like a lot of cramps.
Like body cramps. Our muscles are kind of achy. All right, let's do one more in the back.
You might be sleeping a lot.
Tired. No energy. We don't want to get out of bed. You bet. Good. And a lot of the times, if we're feeling that way, and it keeps going on and on and on, who do we have to go see?
The doctor.
And what might he do to make you feel better? Yeah.
Making you medicine.
Might take medicine. Did you have something, or is that what you were going to say? Got it.
Might give you a shot.
Might get a shot. That was what you were going to say. Anything else?
They might put you on medications.
You bet.
And you might have to spend the night over at the doctor's for stuff and things.
Maybe.
That's what happened to
Yeah.
me.
You might have to get some fluids in you. Yeah, last one.
One time I had the flu.
Yeah. I bet it didn't feel very good. Did you have to go to the doctor? Yeah. Yeah. I think all of us have had the flu at some point. Oh, that's right. I don't have to do that at this one. So, what's different about mental illness is that it's in our brain. And so we can't always tell if someone is feeling really sad or worried or scared or mad unless we ask them and they tell us. So we aren't going to get a fever, we're not going to get a runny nose, and we're not going to be puking. So it's a little bit different because they're on the inside. So some mental illnesses are caused by signals in our brain that are kind of getting cut off or stopped. So those signals are being disrupted. So imagine we are at a traffic light. And when the light turns green, everyone does this. And when the light turns red, everyone does this. So how might we be feeling if we're at that traffic light and when the light turns green, everyone stops, and when the light turns red, everyone starts going? What are some feelings we might be feeling?
Angry.
Angry?
Confusion.
Confused.
It could be a black day.
Oh, like a mad day? I like that.
You could be in the red zone.
Ooh, what's the red zone? Remind me.
It's where you get mad, angry, terrified,
Frustrated.
terrified.
I like all of those words. Good. Do you have a different one? No? Okay, in the back.
You could possibly be sad.
Yeah, maybe. Like, I didn't get the memo that I'm supposed to stop when the light turns green and go when it turns red. You bet. So this is a lot of the times how people with a mental illness feel because their signals in their brain aren't connecting and aren't really working right. So they might be feeling all of those emotions you just talked about, all of those red zone emotions. Good. So I told you we were going to talk about 2 different mental illnesses, and I want to talk about this one first. And this one hits home for me a little close because my mom lives with depression. What emotions do you think about when you hear depression? Yes. Sad. Good. What else?
Blue zone.
Blue zone. I'm just going to put blue. Yeah. You got one? No.
You're probably crying. You're probably a little scared.
Maybe. Now you got one. Puking?
No.
Maybe not. I guess if we're like really sad, we might kind of work ourselves up, but not usually. Yeah.
Hyperventilating.
What was that? Hyperventilating, like we're having a hard time breathing?
Seizure?
Good.
I'm fine. This my mom just said it.
Because if we're so overwhelmed and so sad and we're maybe crying a lot, we have a hard time like catching our
This is
breath.
one way I know that because my mom's a CNA.
Yeah. Yep. Good. What other one?
Like not catching up with things, like not know what's going on.
So confused? Maybe.
Who knows?
We usually feel like bad about ourselves. Like we have no self-esteem. Have you heard of that before? Yeah. So a lot of the times when people live with depression, they feel like they have this rain cloud over top of them that keeps raining and raining and raining, and we can't see it. But they feel like that on the inside, even though on the outside, they might not be showing it. Yeah, something else?
Well, when people have depression,
Yeah.
they usually try keeping a straight face, but in the inside, they feel like no one's there for them.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think my mom probably felt that way sometimes. Good. What about this one? Anxiety. What emotions do we associate with that in the back?
Worry.
Worry. It's a good word. Could be worried in the blue here.
You could be confused or have a hard time breathing, I think.
Having a hard time breathing? You bet. Good. Friend.
Struggling to listen.
Good. Hard to listen or concentrate because we're worrying about other things that are going on.
Scared.
That's a good one. Let's do one more. Who has a good one?
Forgetting things.
Forgetful.
Or like you don't feel good or something.
Yeah.
Fun.
Or a word that starts with an N that kind of means
Nausea. Nervous.
Yeah. Good. Those are called worry eyebrows. And these are worry lines. A lot of people with anxiety are tired because they are always worrying and are scared about something, and that kind of consumes their brain and they can't shut it off. And the only time we really can shut our brains off is when we sleep, but people with anxiety have a hard time doing that.
Yeah.
Good. So, even one of the bravest people in the world, who's that over there? Superman, super stick man, or woman can feel nervous or anxious, right? Let's give them some worry eyebrows. And even a person who is always making other people laugh and who is putting on a happy face, like you said, on the outside, might feel on the inside really, really sad. And it's okay to be worried and anxious and sad and depressed at certain times. But if we are always feeling that way, day after day after day, we need to reach out for help. And a lot of the times when we reach out for help, that leads us to a doctor. And the doctor is going to kind of give us some options of what we can do to feel better. So, if we live with depression or anxiety and we go see a doctor, what might that doctor tell us to do or try that could make us feel better? Yeah.
Me?
Yep.
Go see a therapist.
Talk to a therapist. His paper is small, so I'm just going to make little scribbles. Good. Yeah.
Set goals.
Set goals. I like that. Anything else?
Maybe have medicine once a week.
Yeah, you bet.
Medication.
Take some medicine. A lot of people have to take it every day. Yep. Yep.
Maybe get more sleep if you have anxiety.
Absolutely. Sleep, not too much, but maybe more than what we're getting. Anything else? Going outside, getting some fresh air, hanging out with friends, because that usually makes us feel better. Last one.
Well, don't think about it. Don't don't think about what you're worrying.
Yeah, so try and have more positive thoughts to get your mind off of what you're really worried about. And then I heard eat healthy too, because a lot of the times if we change up our diet and start eating healthier, that helps. Good. And if we try these things, eventually we're going to start to feel better. But does a broken bone heal overnight?
No.
It takes a while, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it could take 2 months. So just like with a mental illness, if we're trying those things, if we're going to counseling, and we're taking medicine, and we're getting outside, and we're getting more sleep, eventually we're probably going to start to feel better. But that might take a while. It could take like 2 months, like we said. Good.
You can throw a salt.
So, I told you in the beginning that mental illness is common. 1 in 5 people live with a mental illness. If that was a fraction, what would that be? 1 in 5. Yeah.
1/5.
1/5. Which is 20%. How many kids are in this class?
20.
20. So that would be like 4 people. If we were just to take a group of 20 people, that'd be 4 people in the group. So let's say this is my person that lives with a mental illness. And I just chose that person because they all look the same. You can't tell on the outside, right? So they are 1 in 5. But the other 4 people are affected too because they probably know someone that lives with mental illness. So here's me. I have green hair for Halloween. My mom lives with depression. So I have a mom. Who are some examples of other people in your life that could live with a mental illness? Yeah. Could be a grandparent. We'll just put grandpa up here. Yeah.
Dad.
Could be a dad. And one more person. Yes. It could be a sibling.
A friend.
It could be a friend.
It could be
be your uncle.
You bet. Yes, those are all good examples. So even though it's only affecting 1 in 5 because they're living with it, it really does impact all of us because most of us know someone that lives with mental illness. So that means that it's really affecting 5 over 5, which is what percent? All or
100%.
100%. Good. So, if we have a friend who lives with depression, like our friend over here, and they have that invisible rain cloud over them, as a friend, what can we do to support them? And the reason why they have a guy in a cast over here is because a lot of the same things we do to support our friends with a broken arm are a lot of the same things we can do to support our friend with depression, even though we might not know it's happening. Yeah.
You could comfort them.
Yeah, how might you do that?
Well, this one time my brother, he puked once, and I comforted him.
So maybe you like rubbed his back, or you told him everything was going to be okay.
I did everything I could for him.
That's really nice.
He's just a baby.
Yeah, exactly.
About this small.
What can you do to support a friend?
You could, like if they're hurt,
Mm-hmm.
like if they have a broken arm and
Yeah.
they don't have a cat, you could help them over to some help.
Ask them if they need any help. Just be a good friend. Be near them. Hang out with them. Yeah.
Try to make them laugh.
Yeah. Try to make them laugh. Tell them a joke. Show them a funny video. Anything else? We can write them a card, right? Bake them some cookies. Good. What might we ask them to make sure they're doing okay? Yeah.
Are you feeling a little better?
Are you feeling better? Good. Or how are you doing today? What color day are you having today? Good. And if we're doing all of those really nice things, being good friends, being kind, supporting one another, then we're going to have 5 people, or 100% of people who feel like they live in a community or in a school where people care about them, which is really important for people who are struggling with their mental health. Good. I told you at the beginning that we were going to talk about who we can talk to if we are feeling like we are stuck in some hard emotions, like anxiousness or sadness. If we're always feeling that way, we need to have trusted people we can talk to. And who are those people for you? Doctor, absolutely.
Parents.
Parents, good.
If you're at school, you could tell your teacher.
A teacher,
Therapist.
you bet.
Sibling.
You bet. Older or younger?
Older.
Good.
And your uncle.
Grandma or grandpa.
You bet.
Pet.
Oh, that's a good one because it's good to talk to our pets and our friends and maybe our younger siblings, but they can only really be good listeners, right? So if you thought that you maybe needed to go see the doctor, who would you talk to then?
The doctor.
The doctor or someone who can get you there, like a mom or a dad. Good.
Your parents?
Yep, you bet. Let's take the last 2 and back.
Maybe some friends that you trust.
Good. Yeah.
Counselor.
You bet. Bless you. Good. All right. So we should always make sure that we have at least one person, one trusted adult we can talk to, either at school or at home or both. Good. So I want to talk about coping skills. And I heard that you learned about this last year when we played coping skills bingo. But that might seem like a really long time ago. Does anyone know what coping skills are? Yeah. Yep.
ways that you cover up something that's going on. Like you could do something and try to get your mind off of it.
Yeah, I like that. So there are things that we do that make us feel better, right? What might that be for you? What's a coping skill you have?
Playing with my dog.
Yeah, you bet. Pets. Good. What other things can we do that might make us feel better? Yeah,
Playing sports.
you bet. Sports or exercise. Especially if it's outside and we're getting fresh air. Yeah.
Playing with your family, friends, and things.
You bet. Being around people you like to be around, like your family and friends. Anyone else? Remember when I said that the only time our brains really get a break is when we're doing this?
We could be
Did you say you could be around friends or a teacher? Yeah, you bet. When do our brains get a break? Sleep. Good. Anything else? Yeah.
Read a book, like I do sometimes.
Yeah. How many of you listen to music? What time are we done? Okay. We should have time. Let's see if this works.
Is there music or noise?
There is.
Okay, then I'll just.
Okay. I'm going to turn off all the lights. So this was another way that we can kind of calm ourselves down. Have we done Go Noodles before?
Yeah. And kindergarten.
Yeah, so this is like a calming one where I hope that if we're feeling kind of energetic right now because you've been listening to me for a while, that we can just kind of relax for a couple minutes. All right?
This exercise will teach you how to gain control of your stressful energy when it gets too high to handle. Close your eyes, listen, and follow along. Or keep your eyes open and follow along that way. It's up to you. Sit tall. You can be on the ground with your legs crossed, or in your chair with your feet flat on the floor. Now imagine that you can look up and see the sky. And up in the sky, way up in the sky, is a balloon. If you'd like, you can choose a color for your balloon. Keep the picture of the balloon in your mind. The balloon's string reaches all the way down to your hands. Hold on to the string. Imagine that you can feel the pull of that big balloon. Imagine that the wind pushes it from side to side. Or imagine that the wind actually tries to pull the balloon higher into the sky. Maybe you can feel the gentle tugging of the string in your hands. Now try to bring your balloon down. Be careful to go slowly. You don't want the fragile string to break from pulling too hard or too quickly. Take your time. Imagine that you can gently pull the string, hand over hand. The string collects in a pile at your feet. Hand over hand, pull after gentle pull. The balloon appears to come closer. It might even become easier to bring it down in your mind as it gets closer to you. Keep bringing it down, closer and closer. Some other strings might be longer or shorter than yours, and that's okay. Just bring it down at your speed. Focus on your balloon. Keep bringing it down. Your colorful balloon may now be within your reach. Pretend that you do not need to use the string anymore. You can actually hold the balloon between your hands. Notice if you can feel the balloon in your hands. be gentle. Imagine that with your next out breath, you can open your hands and release your balloon. Let it go. Notice in your mind where it goes. It could be different for everyone. Just remain still for a few more moments and watch your balloon drift away.
How many of you are feeling really calm? Good. Alright, I'm going to turn the lights on, so I'm giving you a warning. Alright, I have homework for you.
What? No.
Real quick. Oh, get over it. You got this.
So, an eval, but my homework for you is to
It's not the take-home homework kind.
be kind. Yes? Let's try and do one kind thing for one of our friends today. Sound good? We can handle it. You already did.
See, Dominic, it's not the take-home.
I love that.
She said, give one kind compliment. You can do this. I know you can.
Okay. You do have to write on it. Yep, so take out a pencil if you have one.
Roll in.
And then we'll go over the questions together.
Just wait, she's gonna talk about this.
Before we start filling those out, or while we're filling them out, does anyone have any questions about anything we talked about today? We're feeling good?
If there's more questions on the survey, you don't have to worry about putting the name of the school or the day of the presentation. We'll put that in for you. You can put your name if you want to. You don't have to. The 4 questions are, and basically you're just going to circle the face or shade in the face or word that best describes your answer about today's presentation from Miss Megan. Number 1, I learned about mental illness today. Yes, not sure, or no. Number 2, I know an adult that I can ask for help if I feel sad, depressed, or anxious. Yes, not sure, no. Number 3, I found today's presenter, Miss Megan, to be respectful and kind. Yes, not sure, no. Number 4, I learned some ways to help me feel better when I feel sad, depressed, or anxious. Yes, not sure, or no. Please flip on over to the back side. And on the back side, you can leave any comment or anything that you learned or anything you want Miss Megan to know about what you learned or what any of your remaining thoughts are. Any comments for Miss Megan about what you learned, what now you know that you didn't know before, or just anything you want her to know about the presentation. Okay, so go ahead and write your comments and we'll come around and collect them. And again, Miss Megan said you have homework today. Your homework today is be what? Kind. Go and do something kind. I know you can. When you're ready, just hold your blue sheet up and I will come around and collect. Way to be 4th grade learners. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.